For our project, we chose the company Nike. I'm Kenny Diana.
I'm Ryan Williams.
I'm Tom Rubble.
I'm Cam Forts.
Some company history on Nike. To start off, their mission statement is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. A lot of what Nike focuses to do is bring a little bit of um, sports to people who are not necessarily athletes. Um, they started in the early 1950s. Two people, um, Bowerman and Phil Knight, started Blue Ribbon Sports together with only $500. And slowly throughout the years, Nike came into existence in 1971. Over the course of the years, they developed different technology which innovated the company and brought it to new heights. And then in the early 1990s, Portland, Oregon became the first headquarters of Nike. Uh, their headquarters became internationally known and won many architectural awards. And then in 2000 to today, Nike Shox hit the market and proved the company was dedicated to creating new and innovative technology, just like they said they would do back in the 60s. Here's the evolution of the Nike shoe. You can see how simple it was in 1985 and how it slowly progressed throughout the years and how the technology changed as well as the design of the shoe. The international sales strategy. Nike continues to turn a profit as commodity prices rise. This means that as leather and other shoe material prices increase, Nike still continues to make billions of dollars on shoe sales alone. Um, International sales account for about 57% of company revenues, and this is a big percentage. Um, Right now, Nike is working on getting into other foreign countries. One of the bigger countries Nike is looking to boost its presence in is China. China is a huge market, and a lot of their products focus around Chinese athletes. And additionally, Nike appeals to emerging middle class markets. Here's a pie chart depicting what I was explaining earlier about Nike revenues internationally.
So a major market that Nike has started to get into is China. They currently do $2 billion in business in China and see it as one of their largest growth opportunities. They began doing business in China in 1982, so for over 30 years. It is the fastest growing global market and the second largest single market behind only North America. In 2011, they started building a massive headquarters station in Shanghai, which opened in 2012. And although Yao Ming signed with Reebok, he actually helped Nike and China's market as a whole, as all apparel and shoe companies became more popular in China, as Nike's revenue rose over 20 times once Yao Ming joined the NBA. In the past few years, Nike's had to retool their strategy as they had too much inventory in China, and that paired along with their economic slowdown helped lead to a slowdown in profit growth. So they started retooling and focusing more on product quality rather than just total merchandise. Companies such as Adidas and local businesses have put more pressure on Nike. This is just with price slashing, things like that. And they've also had to focus revamping products and upgrading merchandise. Another main market that Nike started to get into is Central and Eastern Europe. Two main countries that have seen growth are Russia and Turkey. And over the past year, they've seen sales growth of 16% in these markets. This is mainly due to consumer confidence and increased popularity of their apparel and especially basketball products. Nike is also currently trying to become more of a presence in Southern Europe, but is struggling due to economic woes of the nation as a whole. Nike's international product line will be similar to what we find in the United States. Basketball apparel and casual apparel make up their biggest segments of their international product line. specifically their shoe sales making the majority of the products sold. And their main market appeal is to appeal to the middle class.
As Ryan touched on earlier, Nike's has many competitors in the international market. Uh, some competitors are Under Armour, Lululemon, Adidas, Asics, New Balance, and Puma. Adidas is definitely their strongest competitor in the European area because of all the soccer. And Nike has grown more than 52% in China over the past 3 years, while Adidas has grown just 6% in the country over that time. So it just shows how dedicated Nike is to achieving their goals and outdoing their competitors. Also, Nike operates a future orders based business model, which the majority of the orders are from wholesale partners that have to book orders with Nike 6 months before the delivery. It keeps Nike on their toes and able to formulate business plans according to these 6 month order forms. And then it also helps Nike with their resource allocation because they are able to keep smaller inventory and their liquidity is better. Also, EMEA stands for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And the leader of the EMEA looks at quality of plans, size opportunity, and the strength of historical performances when thinking about investing in different areas of the country. Some key concepts that he really looks at is consumer demand. They're really looking to take full throttle on the Get Well, Stay Fit initiative that's going around the United States, also other countries. The diving board that they get on is dissecting cost base, and they highlight opportunities. So they really see, like Kenny said earlier, with the costs of leather and other shoe materials going up, they really look at places to reduce costs. And like I said earlier, they like to reduce their inventory, and their liquidity problems in emerging markets are increasing because the currencies don't match up as well and the different exchange rates. The efficiency drive that Nike has 3 different parts: diagnostic, the blueprint, and then implementation. They're really concerned on setting goals and then achieving those goals through these 3 steps. And next, Tom has marketing.
Before we go into all the details of Nike's international marketing strategy, we'd like to show a video that demonstrates Nike's marketing. Now, what Nike shows in this commercial of theirs is that it is for pros to start off with, and most people want to be like the pros. And by buying Nike, it gives you a sense of you are one of them. You can be one of them. But in the same commercial, it also shows people playing on the beach and people playing in the streets. So it's able to show that it is the everyday players and athlete as well. You also see not just the Brazilians, but people from other countries playing, which goes into a big point of their marketing strategy, which is market penetration. Nike has lots of money, and they want to use it to their advantage. They spend hundreds of millions in order to get into all these markets before anyone else has, and to make sure that they expand those markets within the places that they hit first. Another big point that they like to emphasize on is their direct-to-consumer brand. Between 2010 and 2015, Nike's goal was to open approximately 250 to 300 new Nike branded stores worldwide. This is because they want to get directly to their customer. They want to have that face-to-face interaction because that's going to help the customer move more. And more importantly, it's going to build that customer support that brings them back. This also leads to another big point of their differentiation. What Nike has done worldwide is make sure that they spent the money and time researching what's important and what they need to know before entering the market. This way they can go to these stores that they're opening and instruct their employees on how they need to greet people, how they need to interact with the employees that will be coming in. That way they can provide the best experience possible to the customer. And over these 5 years, Nike plans on spending $500 to $600 million in capital just in their direct-to-consumer brand, as well as their other numerous brands that they use to differentiate themselves from their competition. Finally, Nike uses athletes, major athletes from every sport, in order to ensure that people know who they are and are able to connect with them. In our PowerPoint, you can see Roger Federer, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Rory McIlroy, who are 3 of the biggest athletes in the world, not just in their sport. Next thing we want to talk about is what's held Nike back from being a global giant. A huge controversy that conflicted them was their international slave labor controversy, which all started in 1992 when an expose was released that showed that Nike was paying Indonesian workers 14 cents an hour to produce their clothing, well lower than the minimum wage limits in Indonesia. In 1996, other companies were being exposed through their labor laws, minimum wage laws, and it became a huge issue in the United States. So around this time, Nike developed a department where the purpose was to improve the lives of its factory workers. In 1997, though, more reports emerged that showed that Nike was paying workers less, they were not giving them safe environments, and a whole other slew of issues that really put Nike into the public's eye in the wrong way. Nike then hired Andrew Young to examine their abroad labor practices. His report was a huge problem, though, because he was accused of being influenced by Nike's executives. Whenever he went to a factory plant, he had Nike employees with him, leading him around, and everything. He did not hit the minimum wage laws that Nike was allegedly breaking, or the other issues that they were being accused of. It was very pro-Nike. Then in 1998, CEO Phil Knight announced that Nike would increase their minimum wages within the organization, as well as increase monitoring in their factories, and they would adopt the OSHA Clean Air standards that the United States has set for all of their locations worldwide. In 1999, Nike created the Fair Labor Association, a not-for-profit organization that would help make sure that these issues that Nike was facing would not happen worldwide for other organizations, not just themselves. In 2004, it was a huge win for Nike because activists acknowledged that Nike was fixing its problems and that things were looking a lot better. And then in 2005, Nike became the first in its industry to list all of the factories it works with worldwide so that the public could see what these factories were really like because they knew who Nike was working with. Then in the same year, Nike issued a 108-page report revealing their attempts at solving all of the issues from going forward. And now Nike continues to still present their social responsibility reports, which are just like that report I just mentioned. It's showing how Nike's improving for the public. So in summary, even though Nike's had this huge controversy, it has not stopped them from being a global giant and currently owns 37% of the world market for athletics. And this, what we've brought up in this presentation is exactly why. Here are our sources for where we got all of our information from.